When faced with a cancer diagnosis, there is nothing more important than strong support close at hand. That's the theory behind community oncology, to provide quality and life-saving care practically in your own backyard. That approach has been just the right antidote for one man battling colon cancer in rural Arkansas.
What we've got is what God blessed us with over the years. As retirement was coming down, we really hadn't planned a whole lot for it. We got a little bit as far as church retirement is concerned, but God just more or less dumped things in our lap about the same time the cancer situation took place. After I had cancer, things just basically stopped.
After moving around the country as a minister for the last 30 years, David Schrabel now lives with his wife Erlene in a little town called Paragould, about 150 miles northeast of Little Rock, Arkansas.
Church has been our life. We raised our kids in the church, and they're all in the church today. Good service Sunday. Everything went great, and just beautiful to be home. This is where our home is. This is where our support goes.
5 years ago, a colon cancer diagnosis changed everything. David and his wife now live in a fifth-wheel trailer beside their daughter's home.
This was the day that he had a colonoscopy, and that was when we found out that he had cancer for sure.
He had known there was a problem, but Mr. Schrabel kept it a secret from most of his family.
I'd had it for a year, basically from the time that I started bleeding, probably a little over a year. Of course, I thought at the time, it might just be a small problem as to have sometime in those areas. And so I waited, and of course, it didn't let up.
At first, fighting seemed hopeless. A man of strong faith, David wondered if it was just part of some larger plan.
Didn't have insurance or anything, so I just thought I'd wait till the Lord either heal me or take me home. So, but then the girls got involved and called on the phone crying and didn't want me to go then.
My daughter said, "Dad, our grandchildren needs to know you." And they said, "We're not ready for you to go yet." And we've had a happy 6 years.
Right, Josiah?
Yeah.
After undergoing radiation treatments to shrink the tumor, David had a section of his colon removed.
The doctors and all, and even the surgery and things went so smooth. They expected me to be in hospital at least 2 weeks. Maybe more. In 9 days, I walked out.
But nearly 5 years later, the cancer returned, this time in his lung. His career as a pastor would come to an end.
This time, there's no cure for me now. Not knowing how it was going to advance and things when they told me. Then I decided, well, I've been at it for 40 years. Might as well just turn it over and let somebody else do it, so.
David's treatment takes place at the West Clinic in Memphis, close enough to home that Mr. Schrabel never had to be away from family.
It's a little less than 100 miles anyway, which if it wasn't so often, just be a good country drive.
For people in rural areas, easy accessibility to cutting-edge cancer care is a relatively new phenomenon.
What's happened over the last 20 years is, as the medical centers have trained a lot of individuals to be oncologists, they moved out to the community. And now you have well-trained oncologists who can take care of people and offer state-of-the-art care everywhere in the United States. The littlest community in Arkansas, those patients get the same level of care as if they were in New York City going to Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. And we're very proud of that.
For David's oncologist, Lee Schwartzberg, community oncology gives him a chance to care for patients while conducting cutting-edge research.
I'll be right in. All right? Okay. I was from New York City. I'd done all my training in New York City, and this was a big leap to come to Memphis, Tennessee. But I saw the opportunity here with Bill West and Kurt Tower, who were building a unique kind of facility where research was being done in the community.
You can be the country physician that makes his rounds, but you can sit on the highest science tables around the country. So it really is a very exciting place to be.
85% of cancer patients in America are treated in the community setting, outside of the larger centers of research.
But what's changed is partly because there's more doctors who have been trained and partly because of technology and everything is instantly accessible these days, is all of those discoveries now move much faster and they get into the hands of the people who take care of the patients.
Well, that's what community oncology is. It's helping to treat the patient where they live. Many of our patients, unfortunately, the majority of our patients die of their disease. And so it just doesn't make any sense to take them away from where they live at the final part of their life. They need to be with their family, with their friends, in their social environment.
Just one upstairs?
You're gonna let him go upstairs? Treat upstairs?
His cancer in remission, David will continue to receive the drug that stems tumor growth. And in addition to the medical care, David will always have his faith.
Everything that we do is set on the confidence and the faith that we have that God's going to take care of tomorrow, as well as today. In fact, I have to remind my wife every once in a while, the same God that took care of us today is going to take care of us tomorrow. He doesn't change. We may, but He don't, you know.
More than 80% of cancer patients receive care close to home, leading to treatments that work, both for the patient and for the doctors who care for them. We spent a day in the life of one devoted doctor and her patient to highlight just how important community can be.
And we think she has pancreatic cancer. We've biopsied her 3 times.
Medical oncologist Janetta Blakely spends much of her clinic time in the urban Midtown location of the West Clinic. Plain-spoken and down-to-earth, she doesn't mince words when she describes cancer.
I mean, cancer sucks. It sucks to have chemotherapy. It's no fun to have to lose your hair. It's no fun when you have to tell somebody that they might die. It sucks.
Fresh off a fellowship at MD Anderson Cancer Center in Houston, Texas, where she studied breast cancer and sarcoma, Blakely has now settled in Memphis with her family.
A lot of my friends think I'm crazy.
Why?
Well, I have a stressful job. I have 2 kids. I'm married to a husband who has a stressful job. It becomes stressful and chaotic and, you know, that kind of thing.
At 6 a.m., it's the calm before the chaos.
Do you have your shoes? Elizabeth? What? That's yes, ma'am.
The Blakely household has been up for well over an hour and a half. Janetta's husband, a pediatric surgeon, has already left the house to begin his day.
Lily Grace, would you like a little bowl of Fruit Loops?
With 2 children and a successful oncology practice, Blakely has a lot on her plate. Do you ever feel like sometimes you get in over your head?
I think sometimes I do feel in over my head. Not so much at work, but at home. I feel a lot of times that I have 3 or 4 balls in play at the same time and I just don't want to drop any of them because they're all important. If you're gonna do this job and you want to have a family, I mean, finish high school at 18, 4 years of college, so now you're 22, 4 years of med school, now you're 26, at least 3 years of residency, okay, now you're 29, and if you're a woman, you're starting to, you know, that clock is going tick-tock, 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 and you got to get it done if you're going to have children.
It's time to go to school.
Can you get your book bag?
Yes.
Okay.
After dropping the girls off at school, the next stop is Baptist Hospital to see those patients coming out of surgery. From there, it's on to the West Clinic's Midtown Center. 7 miles southwest of downtown Memphis, Angela Jones is getting ready for her appointment with Dr. Blakely.
Well, this is the living room, so get that over here, okay? And this is a hallway. This is my bedroom. It's a little junky too, so you gotta understand, okay? And this is the kitchen.
Angela was diagnosed at age 38 with stage 3 breast cancer, 2 years before the recommended age for mammograms. But cancer is no stranger to her family.
I had a mother. She died of a tumor in her brain. I don't know if it was cancer or not, but she died of a tumor in her brain. I had a grandmother. She died of ovarian cancer. So it's just like the whole family, everybody that's gone, had something to deal with cancer. Just say that. So.
Aware of her family history, she was already in the habit of performing routine self-exams. 2 months ago, she found something that concerned her.
I found a knot on this side, and I asked my sister, I said, something's going on here. I said, there's something weird. And then she was like, well, you need to make an appointment for the doctor. So I made an appointment for the doctor, which was the next day. I mean, I couldn't believe it at first. I said, I'm 38 years old, and it just changed my life completely.
More changes came quickly. Combined with the shocking news of cancer was the very real possibility of losing her warehouse job.
They probably would have gotten rid of me anyway, so I just told them, you know, I'll just resign or whatever.
Her health benefits went away a month later.
They gave you about 28 days or so or whatever, and then after that, everything was cut off, I believe. So I don't have any more insurance, and like I said, I have to figure to go on from there how I'm gonna, you know, deal with the situation.